Hello? I have a question. Can you hear the jackhammers? If no, this is a good thing. If yes, this is tragic and there's not much we can do about it. I think it's fine though. I don't imagine that you'll be able to hear it. It's just something that I have to put up with. Okay. Boot it up. There we go. But boom. Okay. So these are the images from yesterday, the studies that I was doing yesterday. I want to continue with them because I feel like I got close to a revelation, but didn't quite make it. So let's keep going. The general consensus that I came to, yes, consensus implies like group agreement. The general vibe that I picked up on with this image is that the more wiggly and wonkiness I added, the better. Camera's off. Oh, good. Hello, camera. That's strange. It's just straight up not acknowledging that it exists. Give me a second. But other things that are connected to the hub are working. Very strange. Ah, ta-da! There we go. Ba-boom. I love when OBS does that. I love it. I love it so much. Hi. Grab my references again. I'm aware it's not quite the same. Like this is a paler tree. I respect that, but I'm not looking to replicate it. I'm looking to interpret it. Although the degree of paleness may actually play into it. Maybe it speaks to my lack of highlights. A little bit early for Quest's End, but I'll put up with it. Got the first half of my banjo pause screen. Hey! Yeah. Well, it's a fun project, so it's understandable that you'd be psyched. Oop. Bling. What have you got next to do? Is it just more sections? Right. Apologies. And then all the side bits, as in like different sprites for different elements of the menu. Wait. What do you mean by that? Activating choosing icons with eyes. As in selecting options from the menu using an eye tracker? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Side stats. Sure. Using swipe to type at the moment. Words might be a little weird. Yeah, okay. No, all good. It reminds me of a joke from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, where Atem, the Yami Yugi, like the Egyptian pharaoh version of Yugi, is shuffling his deck, but he's trying to look really cool about it. He's like not looking down at his cards, and he's very confidently shuffling it. And what they edit in is that the cards are just flying everywhere. Like he's completely missing the deck, and he's launching cards all over the place. It's just incredible in and of itself. But I like the idea of very, very confidently speed typing on your phone, and it's just absolute gibberish. I did not get enough sleep, no. I got a solid like 6 hours, I think. I would have preferred more, but it be what it do. The problem was that I started late last night, so it meant that I ended late, which meant that I fell asleep late. Yeah. It isn't. It is a state that I am similarly in. Ah, I see. So, not good sleep at all. Sorry, I won't be able to control it. I'll be doing little yawns all throughout. Yeah, it'd be good. Oh, for sure. But it is important for Billy to get sleep as well. Apologies. Hopefully I get it all out of my system and I stop yawning. About as soon as the stream ends, yawns will stop. That's the hope. With the Pegas in mute, didn't? Yeah. That's fun. I hadn't thought of having a different mute state. That's fun. You could do some really cool things with that, like the peg over the mouth. Yeah. I don't mute myself often enough for me to consider doing anything, but the opportunity is there for sure. I'm gonna do a little bit more exploring. Because I don't think I'm gonna crack it. Just plodding away at it like this. I feel like there's something missing. I will see what other artists do for a similar effect and see if I can glean a bit of inspiration from it. one image I had in mind doesn't actually have she doesn't actually have tree textures. No. Okay. She does have tree textures for this one. Let's see. There we go. Got that one. We end up with some really interesting tree textures. She does amazing work. A lot of my inspiration comes from her. Then there's this guy called Matt Dixon who I also really like the work of. Like his texture work specifically is amazing, but I don't know, his tree textures just aren't quite cutting it for me, which is such a rude thing to say. I'm sorry. It's a preference thing. It's not to say that they're bad. They're just not the vibe that I want. Bakery's closed. I'm so sorry. Well, like, that's Bahali. It's me. Sorry, that's me. There we go. Take Brex and BRB screen if you need. Yeah, true. Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, bud. Enjoy yourself, bud. Have fun. Stay safe. Have a good time. I refuse. Cloud, I refuse. Let's see. Long Painter does really cool texture stuff. But again, it might just not be my vibe. Ooh. This is a kind of texture work that I hadn't considered doing. It's just like is an illusion. A illusion, not illusion. Well, I mean, I suppose it's in an illusion of texture, but it's an allusion to texture. It's something that I hadn't considered doing. There we go. Na, 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 na. You don't get a choice? Oh no. Help. I'm being coerced to rest. Na, 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 na. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh. Okay, again, we've got kind of this. I'm noticing that maybe I'm putting in too much effort to where it's more easily achieved with implicative strokes. Artist Jeremy Miranda. Yeah, okay. I think I'm leaning towards almost a hybrid between the two. I think I need some more of the distinct details, like in Mazoa's work. But I also need to remember that I can be a little bit looser with that. Just some of the implied grain with the brush fibers is really cool. Can you have your 5-minute scribble? Yeah, sure. What would you like for your 5-minute scribble? Let's go with a square canvas. Boop, 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 boop. Thanks for reminding me. Angry cloud or cloud wave? I'll go with angry cloud. I think a 5-minute scribble lends itself to the chaotic energy of an angry cloud. That could work, I think. Okay, let's see if I still have this setting saved. I do. Excellent. 5-minute timer. There we go. Boom. It's not looking great because it's blending. There we go. So, we've got let's clear this up a bit. Oops. I'll go a little bit over the 5-minute time just because I spent about a minute thinking. So. Ads. Oh god, that looks atrocious on my screen. Maybe if it wasn't 5 minutes, I'd come up with something else. But this is what we got. This is Cloud raging up a storm. Boom, there we go. And it's a Mahali original. There you go. I'll have that exported to the Discord. Might quickly add a bit of shading and stuff to it as well. Why not? Why not? It's fun. How you going, bud? How's your weekend? Really happy with the room? Yeah, no, it looked good. It looked good. You should be happy. There we go. There's our little 5-minute sketch. But boom. Grab that. And into the Discord. Clouds. 5-minute sketch. But boom. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. And it matches the tones of the snow outside. That's incredible. Because you've got the white ceiling and the blue. Oh, that's good. I don't think that coordination was necessarily intentional, but I mean, it works. Okay, let's save this. Five-minute sketches. Okay. I believe he sent me final pictures, yeah. But as I said, looks good. Looks really good. You weren't lying when you said that when you described your bookshelf of TTRPGs. It is, in fact, expansive. And I'm sure expensive as well. That's fun. Expansive and expensive. Fun to say. I love when words. I love when the English language is fun. Okay, I'm noticing a trend between all of these different artist images, and that is that my tree lacks contrast, which for me is not shocking because I always play it safe, and that usually lends to things looking flat. So let's run some color up the trunk and see what that does. I really like how Mizoa has added some green tones into the highlights. Presumably like moss effects, obviously, but it helps to kind of bring it all together. Back when you had money, I mean, hey, it's an awesome collection to have. Okay, and I'm also seeing dynamic lighting on the tree as well, which probably helps. So let's say that another tree is casting a shadow across this one, maybe? Let's duplicate, shift. item. But yeah, like everybody has the the things that they invest in. Like Warhammer is a big one for some people. Like not necessarily Warhammer, but like wargaming in general. Like you might be people have multiple armies of miniatures. It's always cool to see what people have sort of cultivated, you know. Those lighting effects are certainly helping. So let's see if adding a bit more roundness to the tree could help as well. I mean, it can't hurt, surely. I was looking up D&D dice. In my defense, I was explicitly looking up dice as a gift for a friend. But I most certainly also took the opportunity to go down the rabbit hole. I've concluded that I have expensive taste when it comes to dice. This is not particularly new information, but it is sobering to come across the revelation again. It just means that I can't buy dice as often as I want to, because it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg each time I do. But hey, we're talking about cultivated collections, right? I think it comes down to preference at this point as to whether or not I've gotten the texture that I want. And my preference answer is no currently, which is frustrating because I'd love to be able to just say, yeah, friggin' nailed it, can move on. But tragically not the case. Maybe I've overcomplicated things. What if I simplify the texture and just, again, add more contrast? This could be it. Potential. So if I go back to the original reference image, it's very bright. It's very bright in comparison to what I was working towards, I guess. it looks better with the higher yeah. I believe it looks better with the higher contrast. Which is not too shocking. Tends to be the case. The conundrum that I find myself in, though, is that doesn't necessarily solve my problem, given that the trees that I'm wanting to illustrate are in heavy shadow. Cloud, have you caught any of the show Skeleton Crew? It's the Star Wars show that's come out recently. I thought of you while watching it, specifically because you're, well, at least you were doing world building business for a sci-fi setting, and I feel like they did some really cool things. I'm only up to like episode 4 or something, but even still, I picked up on some really awesome elements that were introduced. Artist Matt Dixon. Let's maybe pivot. Add a little bit of grey to the edge, just because I don't like how cut out it feels, and that it's immediately helped to soften the edge but keep the sharp definition of like the overall silhouette of the tree, which is nice. I'm also looking to maybe add some more color. I'd say that this to like left to middle, not really so much of a jump. Middle to right, yes, huge jump, but not necessarily in the best of ways. It's just a big difference. It's not necessarily good change, it is just change. So let's try and morph it into specifically good change. Ooh, that's nice. Doing the detail in a dark hazelnut has kind of softened some of the grooves in the tree, but maintained them nonetheless. That's good. I think I have to accept that the lighting is coming from the left if the branch shadows are going to be present there. So if that's the case, let's jump over to this side and start adding in a couple of highlights here and there. Interesting. Oh, hello Windows. That's very loud. Interesting. So it looks like little breaks in the texture also help. Look at that. Just a couple of little darker spots, and that's immediately settled it right down to what I want it to be. Oh my goodness. That was almost, yeah, that was instantaneous. Boom. We are getting closer and closer to the effect that we want. Try cutting into the middle one with a bit more blue, because it is a little bit of blue present, but I reckon we could have fun with it. Let's say that it's a tree in winter, we've got snow surrounding it, a lot of cold tones, quite literally in that particular case. Maybe it's not winter, maybe it's not snow, maybe it's just nighttime. Or maybe it's just generally in shadow and we've got colder tones present in the image, whatever the case may be. We introduce some blues. We press the Windows key accidentally, or more specifically press Alt and then accidentally bump space, and then the computer has a bit of a whinge about it every time. As in 3 minutes. Thank you, Tavern. I appreciate. Let's try and employ the principles that I kind of learned on that one. So, break up the repetition of the pattern by creating little texture breaks. Just occasionally. Obscure. Something like that. And then we want higher highlights, higher contrast. That's semi-working, but it feels almost like accurately so. I've just put a filter over the top. I need to actually commit to adding the cold tones across the whole of it. There we go. Again, that's kind of immediately helped. You could see some sort of winter tree thing going on. Could imagine this in like a concept art piece for God of War or something, where he's trudging around in the snow and yelling "boy" every couple of seconds. Fetch me my axe, boy. this is fun. Having one specific texture thread weaving up one particular part of the tree gives a real sense of visual unity. That's fun. But I think if it's that exaggerated angle, it feels like the textures down the bottom are a little bit too small, if that makes sense. Does that help? Yeah, kind of. Again, I feel like I'm fearing contrast a little bit. Let's see if I can take it to the nth degree. again. There we go, something like that. I mean, it's certainly there. I can't say there's actually not a functional texture I can use. I'm not sure, like, it might just be a case of application at this point. It will depend on how I apply it. And it'll depend on what else is present in the scene as to whether or not it makes sense. The only thing that I doubt about it is its variety. Something like that, maybe? Yeah, as stated, like, it would get the job done. Okay, what am I truly missing though? It almost looks like she applies lighting to each section of the texture as well, which is the really impressive part. Feels like each bit of my texture is a bit flat, which might be what's leading to this feeling of inadequacy. If I were to... Oh, that's doing stuff. Well, that's just gone and done stuff, hasn't it? I've darkened the top element. So the lighting kind of implied that it was directional from the right, and it's underlit, like it's lighting up the tree from underneath, potentially like reflection of snow or whatever it happens to be. Adding a little bit of darkness to the top part of each highlight has given the highlight a little bit more directionality, which is awesome. Okay, well, since this is a study, it's about testing things, right? So let's try exploring this to the extreme. If I were to add brighter highlights down the bottom of each of these highlighted textures, would that accentuate things even further? Presumably, right? Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Look at that. That's doing fun things. That's cool. Okay. So let's apply that to here. Let's say that again, similarly, it's low lit. Maybe the angle of the lighting is a bit different on this one. That doesn't matter too much. Let's switch layer to this one. Look what that's done. It's immediately picked it up. Same dealios. To the left, let's darken the tops of these highlights as well. Oh, boom! Lucky number 7, like that. Like I ain't nothing. How you going, Squid? How'd you rock up this morning? But that aside for a second, Squid, check it out. The texture's looking so much freaking cooler. I've tried changing the mood of the image. I'd say to relative success, and I've also started adding like lighting effects to it as well, and it's just pap. It's papped. It's papping. Okay. Well, with that under our wing, I'm satisfied with that. I wouldn't say it's perfect because I never could, but I'm very satisfied with that. So I'm gonna leave that there and not tinker with it too much more, just because it'll scrub away all of the lessons on it that I kind of have in my head. Let's duplicate this file. Probably the fastest way of doing that is just deleting these layers, saving this as a new version. Trees, to boom. Fresh start, and then we're looking to do mass tree canopies. At least for pines. Just woke up, lol. Yeah, fair. Good morning. Okay. What are we doing here? It's almost like a landscape in and of itself. Let's see. You've got like sections of trees. Then you've got a section back here which is grey with maybe like a little essence of blue in it as well. Like that. Then you've got almost like a green-grey down here. There's the foliage. Then you've got some darker yellow-greens out here. There's almost accessories to the foreground. Trees. Speaking of foreground, it's getting darker, so similar to here, you've got kind of these bluer greens. It's, sorry for the scribbles, but it's making more sense in my head to kind of map it out based on like hue and tone more so than with line art. Then we go to like almost full grays in the 4/4 foreground here, even a little bit here. Okay, and then where the sunlight's coming in, we've got these yellow highlights. Then as we go further back, it's more into just complete greys. Okay, let's start trying to sculpt a little bit. Just to clean up the mess. We've got a running thread of yellow through here. No, it is a lot of green, but it is a lot of green. It's a lot of green. It's a lot of different types of green. Let's not use the blending brush. Let's go into this bit of a scalpel. will salvage this mess, I promise. I've literally just chucked paint at the canvas in a way that kind of resembles some of the silhouettes that I'm seeing. Just to, because if I sat there rendering each tree slowly one by one, it would take a million years to get anywhere. So if I do this first, it helps to just get it helps to like what's a good example? If you're gonna paint the ocean, right? Do you sit there rendering each ripple of the water to begin with? No. You chucked out a bunch of blue and it looks like a gobbledygook Martian mess of marvelous malevolence. Sorry, I was trying to keep the alliteration going. So yeah, it's the same thing where I'm just trying to get color down that kind of is indicative of the color that's kind of ever present in the scene. Then I'm going through with a scalpel in certain sections and just sharpening things right up. And what this tells me is that I'm far more likely to achieve a believable treescape if I go into it with textures and tones instead of just hitting it with detail, at least off the bat. And I'm sure it'll get to the point where I'm adding detail for this as well, but in the meantime, enjoy the ride. The random colors and vibes. You don't know what you plan on doing for today? Well, my answer is always you could do studies, but if you want to do like a particular drawing, whatever. Have you been building up your like inspiration sheets and stuff? Do you have something that you'd be able to go to? There you go. There we go. One minute. All right, Tavern. Thank you for letting me know. We're starting to get shapes. We're getting there. But yes, I think I was right in using this approach because it's led to more of a feeling of a landscape rather than just trees on paper. Which we love. We love a good landscape. Actually, speaking of which... Oh, ads have started. Oops. Yeah. I hear you. Welcome back. I was about to say before I got rudely interrupted by ads. You were saying a while back, Squid, that you always struggle with backgrounds. You could always practice doing backgrounds. That could be a thing. Maybe not the sexiest option, but if it's something that you know you'd like to get done or you'd like to improve at. I need to then go through my drawing laptop and delete it for some reason. I don't know why. No. But why? You need it there as like reference for what to do when you're stuck. It's good to have what you've done previously. It's like, yeah, I did this as part of my practice. Well, there's always round two. You could always do loose landscape studies in the same way that I'm doing now. It's actually quite fun to start with scribbles and then refine until you end up with the image that you want. Not to say that you have to. Everybody goes about their learning in different ways. we have trees. They exist, kind of. We're getting there. We're pulling them from the murky Eldritchian shapes. The cosmic goop. The primordial soup that was this blotch of green coloration before. We're actually getting some definition going, which is exciting. This is exciting news. Put a whole black canvas down, drawing a character in white with the... Yeah, there you go, boom. Interesting that you can allude to more tree shapes in the fog with just little triangle shapes. That's cool. I'm not making that up either. Like if you zoom in, you've got these little triangle shapes present in the distance. They amazingly allude to more trees that you just can't see. Apparently TikTok has returned, by the way. It was banned for, I think, less than 24 hours. But supposedly they've got another month and a half to sell to a US company or something. It's a very strange situation. Kind of sucks for people who were making a living off of creating TikTok content, and it's kind of being thrown back and forth a bit. Maybe not the best approach to it, but I'd almost want a definitive, like, yes, it's been closed down, or no, it's not been, so I could make decisions about moving forward. I suppose it kind of goes to show that it's unstable, so gives people the opportunity to start trying to diversify a little bit. Okay, so we've got a little broken outline there. Yeah. Stop whinging at me. edge highlight running down the branches here. Then, more intriguingly, we also have a trunk that is quite pronounced, all things considered. Look at that, we're actually getting a foresty thing going on. This is great. It started off as just unidentifiable green scribbles, and we're building. A little bit of creative license to strengthen some of the highlights in the shadows here. I reckon that's fine. How have you been finding Wild Frost, by the way? It's good. Have you played it again since you got it? Okay, what are we learning? What are we learning? We are learning that it's more believable to have elements of the canopy be sort of like wild silhouettes rather than actually going in and rendering each leaf. Although I think we'll also go on to find that rendering each leaf for particular very close trees will be really eye-catching as well. So I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's a wee bit of both. Bling, almost scared myself on that one, but I could see it coming because I knew that I bumped the space bar. 3 minutes, you say? Aye, aye, Capitan. Thank you. Thank you, Tavern. I appreciate it. One minute. Duly noted. Thank you. Interesting that sharper nonsense detail also helps. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also cool to see. Welcome back. I'm also noticing, since I'm noticing things, the direction of the light through the canopy as well, which seems really helpful in forming a bit of a visual narrative. First you look here, then you look there, then you look where the sun comes through. again, super interesting. So, having unrefined haze and then inserting just the tree trunks have helped like anchor it. That's really cool. Interesting. Do I have the intensity of light coming through? Kind of. Kind of washing in from left to right. If that's the case, need to make sure I actually anchor it to a couple of really specific spots. Just cutting back a little bit on the abundance of highlights, just because I want to put them in really specific spots that kind of communicate the direction of the light coming through it. Boom. Now the heck is this shape over here on the left? Just looks like texture. Like this, I guess. My tired brain keeps going back to, there's a video that I started watching before I started stream, like to help me wake up this morning, on like internet sleuths and mysteries and stuff. And it keeps passively wandering back in that direction every time I give myself a moment to just chill for a second. Which is really frustrating because it means that I have to manually snap myself out of the treads every couple of minutes. DP, what it do? What can I say? The Cicada 3301 stuff is really interesting. What's really not working is the as soon as I try to give a silhouette to the trees, as soon as I do this business, if you can see that, let's do it in red so it really stands out. As soon as I try and do this business to shape a tree, immediately stops working. I need to kind of build it out from the center. As soon as I do that, it immediately starts working as a generalized tree shape. As soon as I try to establish almost like a hat for it, it just breaks, which is interesting. It's just interesting. It means that even with like fast gesture stuff for the trees, you still kind of have to refer back to that underlying structure of the tree. I mean, maybe you don't have to. Maybe there is a way of doing it, but I certainly haven't found out in this process. See, I just went to do it again and it didn't work. Intéressant. Well, I did not lie with the title of this stream. It is, in fact, trees all the way down. There we go. I think I'm good to leave it there for now. Yeah, we're 20 minutes over the halfway point anyway, so good to call it there. I'm falling asleep quite a bit, so I might just wrap up stream early here. and nap, I think. I don't reckon I've got the best of me to put into the animated illustration today, so I'm just going to give it a break, give myself a bit of shut-eye, and I'll come back to it later. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Bye.